I've had the season that I've had because of him. This team's had the success that they've had because of him. That's the standard of the league and damn sure the standard of this place. So I get it, but add me to the list in that case.
Hello. 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 Hello.
I don't even know how to introduce this video without getting incredibly emotional. And I guess for some of you guys, that's a good thing, because when we on national TV and lost in the wild card round, a lot of you guys were requesting for my raw, unfiltered, emotional response to the Cowboys embarrassing themselves. And well, I guess in this video you guys are gonna get that. Before we get to the content, make sure you drop like, subscribe, and turn on our notifications to help the channel grow. This is our second upload of the day. Now that we get all that out of the way, work! We made $1,100 off of a $20 entry on Prize Picks. And it wasn't just me, it was everyone that followed these picks on my Instagram story. And the best feeling is the amount of people that made money as a result of this. I mean, bam, bam, bam. Bam! My DMs were flooded, so the best part for me was seeing you guys make money as well. But we're not done yet. If you haven't signed up for Prize Picks, use my promo code Mikerophone to double your deposit up until $100 on Prize Picks. And I give away my picks on a daily basis for free on my Instagram story and now my Snapchat story. We're having so much fun doing this. I'm so happy that I made you guys some money. And thank you, Prize Picks, for the sponsor. Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? It seems just like yesterday that Dak Prescott won the NFC East and gave this beautiful speech about how he wanted more, and that's why he wasn't gonna wear the NFC East Champions hat.
Where's the hat?
I want something bigger than that. So yeah, but we're damn sure not done.
And at the time, I bought into the hype. How could you not buy into the hype? I mean, it's the Dallas Cowboys cycle after all. And we were at the point where after we beat up on mediocre teams, we could sit back and say, this year's our year. Let's forget the fact that we've struggled against teams with a winning record. Let's forget the fact that this team was inconsistent as ever, because going into the playoffs, we were a number 2 seed. All we had to do was beat Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers, and we would have home field advantage for the rest of the way. Even furthermore, the pressure was really on. Before the game, Josina Anderson even stated that the outcome of the Eagles and Cowboys playoff games this week in the NFC East may have a lot riding on them. I'm told Philadelphia at this time is already considering some staff changes after the season, particularly on the defensive side per league source. As for Dallas and whether a major change could still happen there, especially if the Cowboys suffered an early exit, a league source with knowledge told me today that anything can still happen. And that was said with all due respect given to Mike McCarthy. And there are multiple reports about this. The Dallas Cowboys historically have had 2 trends. 1, Jerry Jones likes making big, splashy decisions. And 2, Jerry Jones really loves his yes men. Now, how do I feel about Mike McCarthy as a head coach? I feel like offensively, he got Dak Prescott playing at an MVP level this past year. And I am not going to deny that fact. During the regular season, Dak Prescott was without a doubt a top 5 quarterback in the NFL this season. But the problem isn't Dak Prescott in the regular season. The problem is how this Dallas Cowboys team performs once they get into the playoffs, which with all due respect has reached an embarrassing point. I mean, when Jair Alexander gets to say this about you after knocking you out in the wild card.
There's a few quarterbacks who've thrown me multiple picks in my career, and Dak is now one of them, so he's among my top QBs.
And obviously, there's a problem. And whenever you get knocked out in the wild card, despite being the number 2 seed, the first number 7 seed to ever knock out a number 2 seed in NFL history, then there's no question about it. Someone needs to take the fall. When Dak Prescott was asked if Mike McCarthy should be fired, Dak boldly said this.
Yeah, he's been amazing. I don't know how there can be, but I understand the business. In that case, it should be about me as well, honestly. I mean, that guy, I've had the season that I've had because of him. This team's had the success that they've had because of him. And I understand it's about winning the Super Bowl, and that's the standard of the league and damn sure the standard of this place. So I get it, but add me to the list in that case.
which I'm all for standing up for your coach, and I think it's an admirable thing to do. But at this point of time, saying this about Mike McCarthy made me want to do this to Dak Prescott.
In the beginning of the game, yeah, we got. There's no other way to around.
Subsequently, when you compare that to the way Jalen Hurts answered this question, the difference between Dak and Jalen is just hysterical.
Coach and players play. I answered that question the other day, and I don't know if you asked me something the other day about, and I said, what did I say?
Said you
didn't know.
You didn't know.
Yeah.
Like you didn't know.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah.
I had no idea that was a thing. So I don't see why that wouldn't be the case. You know, we plan on fixing everything that we've done and growing together. Coach Sirianni, Brian, everyone.
So far, we have two consistencies within the Dallas Cowboys. Jerry Jones likes his yes men. Jerry Jones likes making big splashy moves. Jerry Jones also seemed very frustrated at the fact that the Cowboys shot the bed so early in the playoffs. Each and every year, the Dallas Cowboys seem to embarrass themselves during their final game of the regular season. You guys remember 2 years ago, that infamous QB draw in the most inappropriate situation? Or last year when Ezekiel Elliott snapped the ball as the lone offensive lineman for the Cowboys? That was his final snap as a Cowboy. And then this past year, when they finally lost at home to the Green Bay Packers during the worst time you could lose at home for the first time to the number 7 seed in the wild card. But the thing I was saying throughout this entire time was this would be a small price to pay for salvation if it meant that we could get Bill Belichick, who was my top contender and my absolute favorite for a head coaching position, the Cowboys. I thought it was the perfect fit. Jerry Jones gets to claim that he has the best coach in football coaching his team. Bill Belichick gets to coach probably the most talented team that has a brand new opening. And this also gives the Cowboys backup for when they lose Dan Quinn to the Seattle Seahawks, which are my favorite team to poach him so far. And that's not to mention that Dan Quinn has been taking interviews with multiple teams. Well, unfortunately, that's not going to happen because according to Adam Schefter, this just in, Dallas is not making a head coaching change, and the Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy is returning for the 2024 season per sources. And immediately I was just baffled at this news because he's heading into the final year of his contract, which is not unusual for this organization. Dallas allowed its former head coach, Jason Garrett, to coach into the last year of his deal as well. But the thing is, if you're having doubts about Mike McCarthy, this would be the time to move on from him. We have never seen head coaches available like this before. Again, Jim Harbaugh, Pete Carroll, Bill Belichick, Mike Vrabel, Ben Johnson, all available for hire. Now, Jerry Jones would actually release a statement giving his rationale as to why he's keeping Mike McCarthy, saying, "I believe this team is very close and capable of achieving our ultimate goals, and the best step forward for us will be with Mike McCarthy as our head coach. There's great benefit to continuing the team's progress under Mike's leadership as our head coach. Specifically, there are many layers of success that have occurred this season as a result of Mike's approach to leading the team, both with individual players and with our team collectively. Mike has the highest regular season winning percentage of any head coach in Cowboys history, and we will dedicate ourselves in partnership with him to translating into reaching our postseason goals. Certainly, Mike's career has demonstrated postseason success at a high level, and we have great confidence that can continue. Further, our loss on Sunday is shared by everyone here, not just Coach McCarthy, our players, our coaches, our front office, myself, Jerry Jones. There is accountability for our results. I am accountable for our results. The lens we use to view and evaluate Coach McCarthy is holistic. While we're all disappointed with the result on Sunday and with our playoff record, I am 100% supportive of him as the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. We will start our process of review and decision making regarding everything that impacts our team and roster, and while we're not going to address specific players and extensions or free agents at this point, it deserves our deepest review and consideration, and it will get it." After reading that in Jerry Jones's voice, he definitely had a publicist write that up. I can't imagine him saying that in real life. And we're deciding to stick with Mike McCarthy. The reason this bothers me so much is I don't see a path to improvement this year. Last year, I got excited about this season because we traded for Brandon Cooks and we traded for Stephon Gilmore. And the problems were clear with the Cowboys offense last year. Dak didn't have anyone that he could really lean on outside of CeeDee Lamb and Tony Pollard. And Tony Pollard got injured during his final game of the season last year. So I understood what improvements needed to be made. But in this case, I really can't sit here and look at you in the face and tell you how next year is going to be the Dallas Cowboys year. I can't tell you how we're going to improve. We're going into an offseason where we're probably going to pay Dak Prescott $50 million a year annually. I don't see how this team is going to even get close to competing for the NFC Championship or the NFC Divisional Round or even winning the NFC East, because they're just running it back with the same exact team that shot the bed against the 7th seed in the NFC. And that's with love and respect to Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers. Does Mike McCarthy deserve to be fired? I wouldn't say it's as egregious as Brandon Staley this past year, but I would say his seat should definitely be significantly hotter because the Cowboys have had the most embarrassing exits over the past 3 seasons, and you have the opportunity to hire a head coach that is a master at situational football that would without a doubt win a Super Bowl with this roster, and there's no question in my mind. And you could call me a delusional Cowboy fan for believing in that, but in my head, I feel like Bill Belichick on this team would have resulted in a Super Bowl. But hey, maybe I'm just a delusional Cowboy fan. Maybe I'm just overly emotional. Maybe I just want that dopamine hit of getting that next head coach. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike. I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.